7:09 in the America East, and there he is, Coach Davis. I want to hit you with this right off the bat. You were a two-time Patriot League Coach of the Year at Bucknell. The America East and the Patriot League are pretty similar in terms of some of the kind of schools that are there and the players that you're going to target. How do you kind of translate some of the success that you had in the Patriot League and bring that over to UNH?
Well, first off, thanks for having me on. It's great to speak with you guys. Good to see everybody. It's a good question. I think that the biggest difference, obviously, is I think we have a wider pool of guys we can recruit from. We can recruit junior college. We can recruit high school. We can recruit transfers. We can recruit grad transfers. You can't do all those things in the Patriot League. So I think we got a wider pool to recruit from, which means there's a lot of good players we can attract. Now we got to go out and find them and get them to come to New Hampshire.
Hey, I don't know if you know, the reason I haven't been there, haven't stopped by, is because I'm down in Charleston already. I felt bad, telling you, but we came down early. We sold our house in Newburyport. Rob, I'm only about a half an hour from UNH, where I was in Newburyport. So Nathan and I hung out a little bit last year. I was planning on coming by again this year, but we'll see. We'll see. I haven't bought here yet.
That's why Nathan's been celebrating, Goodman. He's been sitting there. He's been fired up. This is the best fall that UNH has ever had.
Hey, Durham and Portsmouth are wonderful, but Charleston is one of the probably 5 or 10 best cities in the country, so I can't really blame you.
Yeah, it's like 78 here every day right now in October. So I'm not – yeah, I don't feel bad about leaving. Obviously, Clarence Daniels is gone, and that's a much bigger hit than losing me. He averaged almost 20 points a game last year, and it was an absolute stud in the league. Man, you have a lot of turnover. You've never had this turnover in your career. What's it been like, first of all, to bring in 8 new guys and a couple returners, but not guys that made a huge impact in the program in year one for you?
Well, I think it's kind of invigorating. It's like starting a new team every year. We got guys that are hungry for whatever reason. It may not have worked out where they were before, but they're excited for the opportunity to get here. So they're sponges. They want to learn. I think we're bigger. We're stronger. We're more athletic. I think across the board, we're way more talented than we were a year ago. Obviously, losing a guy like Clarence and things he can do is a big loss, but I feel confident that we've got the guys that can answer all the questions we have.
I just asked Dwayne Killings the same question, but I'm curious your response as well. You have 4 Division I transfers. You have 2 JUCO guys. You have 5 freshmen coming in. That is 11 new faces into a program. As you are trying to establish, kind of who you guys are as a team, like what's the most difficult part of that, of having all of these new faces that are coming together at the same time?
Well, I think the biggest thing is getting them on the same page, both the offensive and the defensive. When you have new guys, they come from different systems, they come from different programs with different ideas. And so getting them on the same page together so that we're playing as one is the biggest challenge. But with the rules the way they are, I mean, you got summer school, you got 6 weeks where they're here together. So you got that work. We're in our 4th week here now. So we've had 8 or 10 weeks together. I think that we should be in good shape when the season rolls around.
All right, give me no coach speak here. Give me a couple of guys that have stood out among the newcomers. Who are, if I said to you, one of these dudes will make an all-league team this year, who do you think it'll be?
If to pick just one, I think we've got several that could do it, to be honest with you. I'm going to start with a returner because Trey Woodyard had a huge improvement last year. Has really taken another step this year with what we're doing physically. I think he can play 1 through 4. He's a guy that can do a lot of things for us. So I think he's going to have another improvement this year and take a big step. For the newcomers, I think you're looking at Anthony McComb, who's coming from Bowling Green. He's a dynamic scorer, can put the ball on the floor and create more than anyone we had last year. I think both of the junior college point guards, Sammy Pieces and Jawari Hamlin, both can step in and play at a really high level. So like I said, I'm really excited about this group. I think we are way, way, way more talented than we were a year ago. I think we're way more physical. I think we're more skilled. We're going to be able to play faster. I think we'll be able to defend better. So, no, I think this is an exciting group, and I'm looking forward to getting out.
Played faster. They were top 25 in the country in tempo last season, Goodman. So it's going to are you saying that UNH is going to be the most electric team in college basketball to watch next year, Nathan?
Hopefully it will be electric because we're making shots and scoring and not turning it over and those things. But I think that if we can play the way we want to play, we'll be able to get the ball up and down the floor. and put pressure.
Let me ask you this. So we've done a lot of these media days, right? And one of the things that I found in these preseason polls is that it's basically just a ranking of the most successful programs and then the programs that have the most guys coming back, right? And I think a lot of it ends up being a crapshoot because you have so many different faces and so many new faces. You guys were picked 9th in the preseason poll, but you're sitting here talking like you feel like you have a group here that can make a run at this thing. Is that when you see that number 9 next to your name in the preseason, is that a motivating thing? Is that something where you're going to hang it up in the locker room, make sure every single guy sees that? Like, how do you kind of handle these preseason polls and preseason rankings in the new era of what college basketball is in 2024?
You know, that's an interesting question. I may be different than most people. I could care less. I've been in the NCAA tournament now as a head coach 6 times. 4 times. No, 8 times counting Division III. I've been, 10 times if you count as an assistant. In those 10 times, my teams were picked first twice. I don't think it matters. It doesn't matter where you're picked. It's about who plays. I think right now, especially this time of year in this environment, rosters turn over so much. No one has any idea. I mean, obviously, Vermont's got a lot back. They've been winning it every year. Until someone beats them, they're the team to beat. Beyond that, I don't know that it matters. And it's about us becoming the best team we can be, going out there and putting the work in every day. And like I said, I feel confident that we're in a better place at this point last year now than we were at this point last year as far as what we're capable of doing. And so I'm excited about this group.
All right, let's have a little fun, Nathan. I got a couple things I want to ask you about because, as Rob knows, I like to kind of bring things, take him off the rails a little bit here. Tell me about the time one of your former bosses, and I don't know who it was. I was just told that one of your former bosses got you and your staff to help move a tree.
Oh, that's a good one. Oh yeah. Working for Don DeVoe at the Naval Academy. We would go to lunch every day, and for some reason that day he said we couldn't go to lunch. We would go to Johnny Rockets. We're going to Johnny Rockets by his house. He comes running out. We're in the car. Can you take these shoes home for us so I can put them in the mail? So sure, yeah. We ran by his house as we're ringing the doorbell. No one's answering. We're walking back down the street. Here comes his wife in her Suburban. Hey guys, surprised to see you here. Can you help me with something? Pulls in the back, and she's got a tree in the back that we had to plant. So I think it was a setup. I'm confident we were set up.
Move a tree. All right. Number 2. And I want to know like what the situation was with this that got you. You kicked a chair and you thought you broke your foot once. Was that during a game?
That was during a game. You got good sources. So that was my first year as an assistant at Bucknell for Pat Flannery, and we were playing Penn. We ended up winning the league the next year. We're really good, but that year we struggled early. Ended up playing Penn, and they had a kid Bagley who was their best player. And we were down, I think, 2. And we had a player you might have heard of named Charles Lee, who's now the head coach of the Bobcats at the time. And as we're going out, we're like, Charles, you cannot let Bagley catch the ball on the inbounds. Someone else has got to get it. Charles stands behind him. He runs up, catches the ball. We have to foul him. I turned around and kicked the chair, and I thought I broke my foot. It did go about 5 feet. Yeah, almost went in the stands.
I would ask you of your best Pat Flannery stories, but most of those are not capable of being repeated on the show. We know that. Last one I have for you. The Jordan versus MJ debate. I believe Doster is on the Jordan versus LeBron debate. I believe Doster is on the LeBron side, believe it or not. I don't know. Where are you? Where are you on this thing?
I think let me preface it by saying I think there's about 10 guys you can claim are the best player of all time.
10? 10?
Yeah, 10.
No, you're out of your mind.
Ready? Jordan, James, Bird, Magic, Chamberlain, Robertson, Duncan, Jabbar, O'Neal. Yeah, so I think you can make a case for all those guys. For me personally, I have never seen a basketball player play better than LeBron James did from 2012 to 2020 when they went to 9 straight finals.
See? Wow. He knows.
Wow. You're old like me, Nathan. You can't go LeBron. You got to go MJ. Come on. What are we doing here?
I'll say this. If I had either one of them, I'd like our chances this year. I'd take them all.
I might take one of them instead of your 9 newcomers.
I would take one of them instead of anyone in the league. Give me him and the last 5 guys in the league, and we'll be all right.
That's right.
All right. So you Here's this is a little bit of a throwback question, but you played at Randolph-Macon, and then you took over in 2009, and the guy that you took over for was Mike Rhodes, who had been there for a decade. How many like office chairs did you have to replace in there? How much stuff had he brought? How many broken whiteboards were around? How much stuff did you have to replace for Mike Rhodes, and what was it like taking over that program?
Oh, Mike's very mild mannered. You know, he's not intense. He's not intense at all.
Not even a little bit.
I think I was very fortunate that I played there. So people don't realize this. Mike and I are really good friends. His first job as an assistant was at Randolph-Macon, and I was staying as a student assistant. So that was our first year in coaching together. So we got to work for Howland and experience a lot of interesting stuff the first time. But the programs have been in great shape for years. I think that Coach Webb and Coach Nunley done a tremendous job. Mike took it to another level. I think we came in and we went to 6 straight NCAA tournaments and a Final Four, and then got to give Josh Merkel their credit. Now he's won a national championship. So it was in good shape, and fortunately they replaced everything that was broken before I got there.
Hey, let me get it back here before we let you go in a minute. You mentioned Trey and his versatility earlier. And again, we talked about all these newcomers, but he's probably the most important guy for you because he can help teach those newcomers. He knows what you expect. What's going to be the biggest? He averaged about 8 points a game. But again, listen, when you had Clarence and Robinson, like those are two guys that took up a lot of the shots, and they were the big pieces of the offense. How is Trey's role going to change? How much more are you going to expect out of him, especially in the offensive end?
Well, I think it's going to be across the board with everybody. I think everybody will have more opportunities. I think the ball will move better. I think that we have more interchangeable pieces, even more guys that can do more things. We talked about playing faster. One of the things we had last year was really had, 1.5 guys that could push the ball. I think now we've got 6 of them. So we can do some different things in transition that will speed us up. So I think between the ball being shared, being able to space the floor more, having a real presence at the 5 that we can throw it into and do some things with, is going to open up a lot of stuff for everybody.
What is the one thing that's got to happen this year, Coach, for UNH to be up there with the likes of Vermont and Lowell and Bryan and whoever? What's the biggest thing that has to happen for you guys to have a chance to win this league this year?
We have to defend, we have to rebound, and we have to take care of the ball so we can get shots and then take quality shots. I mean, that's what everyone's going to say, but basketball, it's not overcomplicated. It's the team that gets the most good shots is going to win. And you get the most good shots by not turning it over, by taking good ones when you get it, and by rebounding the ball and giving yourself extra opportunity. So that's the key. Now, how do we go about doing it? There'll be some things in there, but I think we've certainly got the pieces to be very competitive.
All right, last thing I got for you. I was kidding. There's one more. You were an assistant at Emory and Henry University for Bob Johnson back in the day. I think it was your first full-time assistant gig.
That is correct.
There were
yes.
five assistants for Bob Johnson went from Emory and Henry to Division I head coaching jobs. It was you, it was John Kaufman, it was Jimmy Allen, it was Jamie and Christian, and it was Mike Young. I want you to power rank those 5 guys in terms of who were the best coaches.
Well, Mike Young makes by far the most money, so he's clearly number 1. Jamie lives in Italy now, so that's pretty good. He might be number 2. And I'm going to leave the rest of the 3 of us out. You can figure it out. But I think those 2 are clearly winning more than the rest of us.
Oh, listen, man. Nathan, we appreciate the time. It's always great to catch up. Best of luck this season, and congratulations on being able to go through an entire fall without having to deal with Jeff. I've been with him nonstop for the last 2 weeks, and let's just say I wish we could trade spots right now.
You can only see the parties we're having up here. I appreciate it.
Can you send me a popover? Can you go down to Portsmouth and can you ship me a whole thing of popovers, please? I'll pay you double.
Absolutely. Also, it is 75 degrees here today, just so you know.
Oh, all right. Okay. Try to rub it in. I'm going to take pictures of me on the beach next week, though.
I'm going to the beach right now. We just finished practice. I'm heading out there to relax and